welcome everybody to the first episode of the Tickfaw files. It's going to be our session 0. We've got our fantastic GM Rowan North running another game for us, so it's going to be really awesome, and I'm really excited for this one. Before we jump into introductions and get into the thick of the game, a couple quick things to cover if you're unfamiliar with the channel and how it works and everything. We do have some really cool ways that you can actually interact with the game yourself. So if you notice, let's see, right here, there's a list of different things that you can do. So one, and it's the easiest way to interact, is by commenting, retweeting, or liking, or all three, that tweet. For every 5 interactions we get on the tweet of the game, the cast and the DM gets a D4 that they can spend whenever they need to. So it's pretty cool, especially with Monster of the Week, because we're only using 2d6 every time. Those D4s and then the subsequent D6s that can be purchased are a really big deal in this one. Other things that you can see there, most of them are pretty self-explanatory, but a couple of them that might not be. The switch, you can give that to the cast or the GM, and it allows whoever's using it to say, switch the action word of what you just said. So for example, my character is a librarian. Maybe I'm going to read a book about something, to research something, and so I say, I go research this book, and if Rowan has a switch, she can go, you do something else to the book. And so I have to pick a different word that's not a direct synonym, of course, for that word. So it can be pretty fun. Advantage just means you get to roll twice and take the better of both rolls. New one we've done this season is called Borrowed Success, which is one I'm pretty excited to see used. It's a bit like a monkey paw. You get the success immediately. You can use it whenever you need to. You get that success. However, each subsequent success after that, either myself or Rowan, whichever one would like to, we roll a d20. If it comes up 15, and you used a borrowed success, then that was the success that you borrowed. So when you use it, you can potentially automatically fail at something in the future. So it's a bit of a gamble. Complication allows you to throw anything that you want into the game. So for example, we had one recently where somebody threw in basically a chicken version of Bigfoot that was just in a room, and we had to deal with that, and it was pretty funny. Phoenix Astra, if you drop to 0 or below HP, so basically if your character would go unconscious or die, rather than doing that, you only go down to 1 HP instead. So it's sort of a safety net, which if you have a character that you really don't want to see die, that can be very helpful to have. I doubt we'll really have to use that today, as it's only session 0, but it's something that does carry over from episode to episode. All of these bonuses do. Aside from that,
but you will need it. Oh.
Probably will.
That's slightly terrifying. It's fine.
If you're not able to donate financially, there's still some cool stuff that you can do with guild coins. If you are familiar with some recent changes Twitch made, they introduced channel points, which you acquire just by watching the show, chatting, going on raids, things like that. Ours are called guild coins, so if you look at the little round black feather emblem right below the chat bar in Twitch, you can click on that and see all the different stuff that you can do there as well. I think that's about it for how the channel and the show works. So let's do our player introductions. I'll start with me. I'm Raven. It's my channel. I'm a tabletop streamer, professional GM, and tabletop game designer. You can find me here Monday through Saturday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, as well as usually on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern for the Black Feather Tavern, which is a just chatting and hanging out kind of laid-back stream. A little bit about my character, Dr. Tilda Jenkins. She's a bit of an overachiever when it comes to academic things. She is a librarian, basically, by trade. She got a doctorate in library and museum sciences, and is currently, in our game, working on a project of restoring a bunch of books that were found at an abandoned plantation in Louisiana. So she kind of is a little bit sassy in a dry, sarcastic kind of way, and takes no crap from anybody. As far as where you can find me other than here, my Twitter is right below my face. With that, we'll go around in a circle. So passing it on to Riley, tell us a little bit about Jonas and then where we can find you online.
Hey, so I'm Riley. You can find me online on Twitter at Makawakakiki or at Arieli Knits, and on Instagram at Arieli Knits, which is my designing business, my knit and crochet design business. I will be playing as Jonas. He's 28 years old. A very playful, but also strategic character. I don't know how much I want to say right now, but like, yeah, he's just fun.
Awesome. And then passing it on to Yasmin, tell us a little bit about your character and also where we can find you online.
I'm Yasmin or Bodelia, and you can find me on Twitter at YTatianaArt. And that's really about it right now. And then I'm playing Savoy Don Bilius, the youngest member and the only heir to the Bilius fortune. And they are a very severe, very tall, very calculated character that makes essentially everybody there around very uncomfortable for reasons they can't put their finger on. And that's it right now.
Perfect. And next we have Vanessa. Tell us a little bit about Mira and also yourself and any projects you're working on that you'd like to share with the chat.
So this time around, I'm going to be playing a character named Mira. She is relatively new, I would say, to the town. She keeps to herself. She's not a chatty folk. And I would say probably the people who live there have a bit of a running joke where if you actually lay eyes on Mira, because she's always out of town, if you actually see her, you've got one of two things. You're going to have incredible luck or incredible misfortune. So that's kind of a little running joke, I think, that they make among themselves. So she's a bit more of a little bit of a mystery to a lot of the people there. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say for now, though, because she's going to be real fun. But in terms of myself, you can find me on Twitter. I have a personal art Twitter. It's just Pepero Draws, so Pepero like the candy. And then I also have a shop on Facebook called Blue Side Crafts, and there's also a Twitter for that as well. So the Pepero Draws is more so my painting, my drawing, things like that. And then Blue Side is more like board art, string art, like bigger pieces and things like that.
Very cool. Awesome. And then last but not least, our fantastic game master, Rowan, tell us a little bit about you and then what we're in store for.
Hi, I am Rowan North. I'm a freelance illustrator and art educator. This is my third game I've run. I first, aside from like one shot one time, I did Graham last year, which was my first major campaign. That was this is kind of the prequel to that. I kind of had it a little bit on this channel, a little bit on my own channel. We were just kind of experimenting with like where to put it, and I was still figuring myself out. But the story in a nutshell of Grimm, because that's kind of important for a little bit of context, is that basically back in the time of the rise of Christianity, all the pagan religions and gods were chased out. So that includes the fairy folk and magic and all of that. And they hid away in pocket dimensions, and the players got to explore one of the pocket dimensions, one run by a god named Huan Pan. Huan Pan was the god that kind of helped power this bubble, this pocket dimension that the humans are safe in, and they were concerned about this dimension failing because beyond it is a wasteland caused by what they call the Great War. Now we are in 2040, so about 20 years in our future, in a place called Tickfaw and Springfield, Louisiana. So we're taking place in both like the national park area of Tickfaw, the Tickfaw River, as well as Springfield itself and other areas near it. And there's starting to be some weird happenings. About, say, the spring, so when tourist season started really picking up, because Springfield is primarily a tourist town, there was a horrible, gruesome murder that happened. A tourist family that came in had went missing entirely. The youngest of their family was found torn to pieces within the river. At first, they were kind of putting it aside and thinking like maybe this is just a gator attack or something. But then things started getting a little weirder. When they found the mother and father, both kind of impaled on a tree, torn to pieces, the pieces of their body hanging from the branches. So they're wondering if this is like a weird cult activity type thing or some sort of weird wild animal. They're not positive. Regardless, it has had its effect on Springfield and its economy, as the tourists are now a little too nervous to be in the area, especially since there's this unsolved murder. So now a lot of people have left. We are entering the autumn months, so the very tail end of the tourist season. This is still unsolved. They're sending some more professional agents and things like that to look into this situation. And you also have some other people, whether they are local or part of some or have some other interests that are wanting to solve this as well. And that is where we begin, in the fresh, crisp beginning of mid-August. I'd like to first probably focus on Tilda. Tilda, you've been here for a little while, haven't you? Like you...
Yeah.
Oh no.
You knew the voice was coming.
I know! I was not prepared though.
Yeah, I've been here for a few months.
So what are you doing in Springfield, like this small population tourist town?
Well, unfortunately, I grew up here, but I'm back because I was hired to do a library restoration project. They found the plantation out in the swamps that everybody thought was just, lost to history. But there's a whole massive library there with lots of books that I've been brought on to direct the project to restore them, and we've got to research all of them and, of course, catalog them. So I plan to be here for about 3 or 5 years. Not crazy about the surroundings, but it's a really cool project.
Awesome. So this old plantation, Yasmin, do you think it's possible that the Bilius family owned this plantation, or it was in the family somehow, maybe?
Yes, most certainly. And the family had told rumors about this plantation, that it had been one of 3 really great places of work and camaraderie that some natural disaster had wiped off, or so they had thought. And so the Bilius family is also probably the money that is fronting the restoration of this.
All right, so they are your employers, Tilda. That's interesting. What about your character specifically? Are you helping Tilda with this at all, or?
Savoy would likely be most likely overseeing the management of it, the numbers side of it, making sure that everything was hush hush, making sure that contracts were written and signed, handling the the monthly or weekly payments for the workers, ensuring that the majority of workers are recycled every month and that they are let go and made sure that they don't stay in Springfield because who knows what they'll find.
Interesting. Very interesting. So from there, let's actually go to, I guess, the people who are a little bit newer to the town. Let's go to Mira. Tell us, like, why is Mira in Springfield?
Well, I mean, as far as anyone else is concerned, Mira's kind of always been around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah, go ahead.
So does she work there in the town? Does she live there? Do they just see her around? What?
She's frequently out on what people might assume are business trips. She does give off the air of kind of like a businesswoman. So she's gone frequently. You know, probably business trips. So she's in and out.
Okay. Savoy, would you be aware of Mira then,
Of
if
course.
she gives kind of a similar air?
Savoy is aware of everybody. And Savoy would be keeping tabs, so Savoy would know when Mira was sighted, when Mira was in town, and when Mira wasn't in town, but likely wouldn't get involved. Just keeping that information in case something happened.
Interesting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Interesting. And then finally, let's quickly hop to Jonas. Jonas, you are very new to Springfield, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty new. I came to Springfield like maybe at about a month and a half ago, and I've just kind of been hanging out. I heard about the murders, and I've kind of been like walking around, not walking, just walking. I guess I've been driving in cars, but I've been kind of going around checking out all these different supernatural things, kind of trying to figure out like if it has any connection to like my past or whatever.
Interesting. So Savoy, you know that this kid, like Jonas, you said that you were connected to the military or something like that?
Yeah, I served as an officer in the military for a little while, and then I've kind of been taking a leave to kind of figure things out.
Of course. Savoy would probably have had a couple of conversations with Jonas. Just to be clear what Jonas was doing in town. And an attempt to dissuade Jonas from looking too far into it. Not because it's likely that he wouldn't find what he needs, but that trespassing is illegal. And that they would need, or that he would need to go through the appropriate venues and avenues to ensure that he wasn't doing anything illegal. Because Savoy is very concerned about the well-being of their town.
So it sounds to me like Savoy, you are kind of like the local authority almost, not officially, but you pretty much like you act like you own the town, like
Well, I do.
Oh wow.
Savoy is the head of the PTA moms, basically.
Yes.
Oh,
Savoy is the top PTA mom.
Yes.
No one's sure what class like Savoy's kid is in or what, but she's always there at the
Does
PTA
Savoy
meetings.
even have a kid? Why are they here?
You don't even go here. They don't even come.
Savoy is essentially like the babysitter. Like, they've taken on this role of management to ensure that nothing goes wrong. Because if something goes wrong, it's Savoy's fault.
Would you say that Savoy has kind of picked up the pace with the murder, like after the murder and things like that? Okay.
But Savoy may have also provided a lot of information where there may or may not be proof of, so that it's taking the heat off of Tickfaw in Springfield and putting it somewhere else so that they can resume business as usual.
Okay. Interesting. So with that information, just kind of like a basic idea of the layout of town and things like that, you are probably you're probably paying attention to the news and things like that. So you would be aware that there are also a number of disappearances happening in another town nearby, specifically Lafayette.
Well, it's Lafayette's problem.
But if you're trying to, like, say, take the heat and move it somewhere else, that is a really wonderful way to do it.
Yes. And
because those murders are also unsolved, or disappearances.
Right, they must be correlated. We're virtually neighbors and we have to look out for each other.
Totally. So I guess it's about, once again, like mid-August, when there is a new face in town. It is a younger woman, I'd say probably in her 27s, 27-ish, with short black hair and is kind of like skinny, dressed rather officially, and she is starting to look around town and starts asking questions about the Tickfaw murders and Tickfaw disappearances. Where would Savoy, since you are the authority of the town, sort of, where would you be exactly?
Savoy would have been taking notes, but likely would be in their office.
Oh, so there, would you say like your office is on like the main street, main
Yes.
strip? Okay. Similarly, that while there is also the plantation that's somewhere in the swampy area, would there be a library in town that's more aimed at Tilda?
There would be a library oh.
No, don't worry.
Yeah, there's a library in town. It's the Springfield Library.
Okay. So those are two like major information hubs.
I mean, there's also my personal library, but that's just for me.
Understandable. No one's worried about that. And then Jonas, are you like renting an apartment there, or are you like staying at a motel or hotel in the area? Or are you doing like an Airbnb type situation?
Would an extended stay motel or an Airbnb be cheaper?
Probably extended stay motel. Airbnb can be pretty expensive.
That's where Jonas is.
But we are also talking about a place that just saw like these gruesome murders, so is real estate really that expensive?
It's free real estate.
The Airbnb
Precisely.
The motel, I mean, the motel is a fixed rate, so probably like, your $49 a night type situation.
That's a lot. No, that's average.
Yeah. What are you talking
That
about?
adds up.
Well, it depends, like
It's
how
normally
good is the-
$69, but because they've had so many issues getting people safe, $49, they probably can cut a deal for
Nice.
Jonas. Since
Yeah, but what's the quality of this motel?
it's fine, 3-star,
Okay.
But the question is, can Jonas talk his way into $30 a night?
I mean, how long is he planning on staying? I probably, I guess. But yeah, it's a 3-star motel. If people are wanting to stay in someplace nicer, like there's plenty of like cabins and Airbnbs, specifically like locations along the river, like river houses and things like that. So those are like the nice places to stay and usually where people stay when vacationing. But there is still like say motels and things like that in town. Mira, you have been there for a while, right? So you probably have some sort of house or apartment.
Yeah, I would say Mira's probably holed up in like a small little apartment. She's not very flashy. She's not very
Okay.
she's not in need of anything super extravagant. So
Since Springfield is such a small town, like there's not a ton of apartments. I'd say like maybe there's one apartment complex, but usually people are kind of scattered throughout the woods, so to speak. Aside from like there's a few houses around town center. There's the plantation home and area. There's the courthouse area where there's a few homes. And then I guess your say small apartment complex would probably be around the same area as actually Jonas's motel, just kind of there on Main Street and things like that for the people who are probably doing tour guiding type stuff and things like that.
What are we looking at for like places? You said more so in the woods?
Yes,
like little places in the woods?
There are plenty of little places in the woods. They're probably not that expensive either, as Springfield
I'd
is a
say
small town.
she's probably sitting out there then. I think that would probably be a little more her speed.
Okay, excellent. So you have a small place out in the woods, probably about a mile, 2 miles away from Main Street itself, like the main area. Mostly because you start getting into the Airbnbs the further back you go. So that's kind of the living situation and where you're all at. Pretty much everyone can be found on Main Street except for you, Mira. And that's kind of the way you want it anyways.
Yeah,
so this woman that I mentioned earlier with the short dark hair, she heads into your office, Savoy.
Savoy's got a really nice, well carpeted, very smart looking front end office, with a door that leads to the back that's closed. And Savoy's sitting there quickly typing at their computer and looks up and blinks. And
like what? So the woman kind of clears her throat. She's like, are you Savoy Bilius?
I am.
Hi, I'm Agent Naomi Pierce. I'm actually part of the FBI. I'm looking into the murder, the Tickfaw murder case.
Do you have your credentials and badge?
Oh yes, of course. And she shows you her badge.
Have you spoken with the sheriff's department and gone over the files?
Yes. However, I am also wanting to see what maybe has been missed and talk to the locals. Do you know if anyone who was like an eyewitness or anything?
Any of the witnesses were disclosed in the file. As far as I was aware, the only witnesses were the ones that found the body.
Okay. I guess the struggle is that I definitely feel like something's missing, and until I guess it's figured out, I guess I'm gonna be here for a while, and I would just really love to work with you in the future.
Where are you staying?
Probably at the Motel 6 in town.
Do you have your business card with your contact information?
Oh yes, right here.
Thank you. You know what? I'll give you a call if anything comes up. Thank you. I am very busy though, and I will have to get back to the work that I'm doing.
I am aware. If I have any other questions, should I just call you or arrange an appointment? Or
Savoy hands Naomi a business card and promptly ignores her and goes back to work.
Excellent.
That's your cue, lady.
So Naomi kind of stands there awkwardly for a moment before she continues looking around town. One of the places I guess that she would kind of look into next is the library to see if there's like any like what the newspaper articles or things like that.
I do have a
Sad.
quick question.
Sure.
Has there been anything else other than what you disclosed when we began that the police have encumbered?
No. The biggest things was first the little girl that was found basically torn apart. They thought it was a gator attack. Then there were the two family members that were basically ripped apart, hung on the tree, and nailed to the tree. So that's really all that you all have uncovered. And it's kind of been a bit of a cold case, to be honest. So it's not surprising that there would be someone like larger looking into this.
Just
a little bit out of the police's
graphic
hands.
nature.
You know.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, then let's talk about Mira.
Mm-hmm.
Mira, are you in town at all? Like, do you hit Main Street at all?
I would say Mira's down there usually only if she has to be. So for like essentials and stuff
Okay.
like that. Yeah. She doesn't make a show of, going out on a Friday night down to see what's happening on Main Street.
Nothing's happening on Main Street anyway, so it's fine.
Not anymore.
So, yeah. So Mira, let's talk a little bit about you and your situation. Do you often case strangers that are in the town as well, or do you really just focus your time elsewhere?
I would say it's interesting to see new people coming in, but I don't think that's really a priority of mine. I do have business elsewhere, so I'm sure I'd be aware of anybody new coming in, but it's not a priority to me.
Okay, so you would be aware of this kind of nameless guy. Well, it's not really nameless. Jonas.
Nameless
this guy
to me.
that nobody, guy that no one really knows where he came from. Hanging around town, right?
Yes. Yeah, I would say.
Would he be of interest to you at all, or?
I think I would be staying away from that guy.
You think so?
I think so. I no interest. I don't want to get into that.
Okay. And you, Jonas, can you kind of describe like what your day-to-day route is? Like, where are you spending your time?
So, Jonas, if you look into his motel, what's that mean? Where, like, there's the clip of the guy.
You're really hard to hear.
Your mic's kind of cutting in and out.
Is this any better?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, his motel room is like, like with all the strings and like the boards and like the pins and like trying to connect all these things, and looks like
like a murder board.
Yeah, like a murder board. Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. But mostly like spends a lot of time in the motel. Really wants to go check out these places, but somebody keeps like keeping a stern eye on him. not saying any names. So he's so he'll actually spend a lot of time like trying to talk to Savoy to like figure out how he can go through the proper channels.
You've cut
You're
almost
cutting
completely
out
out
again.
again. Don't know why. It's like the
Worked fine
volume
the
kind
other
of
day.
fades in and out. Yeah.
Ah,
Okay. Well,
Much better.
basically, Jonas would spend his day in the motel or trying to talk to Savoy about how he can go through the proper channels and taking those steps that he can. So he actually probably has spent the most time around Savoy, is my guess. Did that work that time?
yes, it did. So, so yeah, you would kind of be near town or around town, maybe heading to Savoy's office about the time that Naomi is coming out, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going in to bother Savoy again.
Again.
Again. Just as this dark-haired woman steps out and she kind of sidesteps you. It's like, sorry. Didn't see you there, sir. And she kind of pauses, like expecting a name, maybe.
Jonas. Who are you?
Oh, sorry. I'm Agent Pierce. I'm here actually working on the Tickfaw murder case and wanted to talk to like the locals and things like that, try to figure out what's been going on. So I'm not like as familiar as with this system as other systems that I've done, but there are just to explain really quickly for the people who are watching and things like that, there are basically a number of moves that a player can do, and that is to, one, manipulate someone, two, act under pressure or help out, investigate a mystery, read a bad situation, kick some ass, protect someone, and then use magic. So throughout, I may ask someone to make a roll, or if they're wanting to do something, I will categorize it thusly. I don't know. Would you be interested in figuring out a little bit more about this woman, Jonas?
Yeah. Definitely would.
All right. So I would say that this is maybe investigate a mystery, maybe.
Okay.
So what you would do is roll plus cool. So you roll 2d6. And then add your like cool roll, because you're one cool dude. And then I am going to look up like basically all that you can ask depending upon your roll. All right, let's see. 8. All right, so that is a mixed success. So basically, I believe it is 10 through 12 is a success. 7 through 9 is a mixed success, and then 6 and below is a fail. So with a mixed success, you get to ask a question. Let me take a look here. Thank you for being patient with me as I figure this out. The basic moves, page 59. All right, so. Oh, I love it how the PDF pages are totally different order than the actual pages in the book, right?
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Would it help
Every
if I
time.
started humming the Jeopardy theme right now?
I will punch you so hard that your mom will feel it. All right, investigate a mystery. Investigating can be done a number of ways: following tracks, interviewing witnesses, forensic analysis, looking up old folklore in a library, typing up monster's name into Google, capturing the monster and conducting tests on it, and so on. Anything that might give you more information about what's going on, or it's fair game to investigate a move. When you investigate a mystery, roll plus sharp. And then you can ask the following questions. So basically you can do ask one of the following questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? What can hurt it? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What's being concealed here? A lot of these apply more to the monster and not Naomi, but I can apply it anyways.
Okay. So, I can't remember. Did Naomi already tell Jonas who she was and why she was there?
She said that her name is Agent Pierce and that she is interested in looking into the case and getting to know locals.
Okay. So Jonas is going to just be like, well, I'm not a local, but I've kind of been looking at things myself, and I was just wondering, is there anything I can do to help you?
Okay. So out of the questions in the investigate a mystery one, are you like asking like
The what can I do?
What can I do? All right. Or what can she do? More like. So from your observations, and this is what I'll give you, with a mixed success, is that she is younger. Like, obviously, she is not the most experienced. She's got a little bit of a quirkiness, even though she speaks relatively professionally. But she is a newer on the job. You get the feeling like maybe that she was assigned here because nobody else really wanted to do it. It's a dead case almost, like there's nothing going on. And yeah, so that is why she is here without a partner or things like that.
Okay.
So being able to help her, she doesn't have a ton going for her right now. So she says, "Oh, thank you. Honestly, I really don't know very much about the area. I mean, I've read the case report, I've read everything about it, but I mean, it's kind of strange to have someone from out of town after the murders. Like, are you here on vacation? What?"
A vacation of sorts.
Okay. And you haven't been bothered?
Real quick, are they in Savoy's doorway or just outside Savoy's office?
I think they're just outside the door. Like they're standing in front of the building.
Okay, continue.
Are you gonna go out and yell at them? Or?
Yes. Gonna give them realistic time to respond, but you know.
That's awesome. So, all right. So Naomi asks, like, are you bothered by what happened at all, or?
Yeah, I'm bothered by it, but I'm mostly just kind of curious.
So are you here like thrill seeking then?
Savoy opens the door and says, "Oh, Jonas.
Savoy!
I was expecting you today. A little bit later than usual. Come on in." And opens
Sorry,
the
I
door.
gotta go.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem at all. I was just heading out. A little bit dejectedly, Naomi actually. Go ahead.
Oh, Savoy lingers to make sure that she walks down the street. Has the door held open for Jonas. And
that's hilarious.
When Naomi has left, Savoy comes back inside and takes their seat at their desk and says, "Jonas, did you find anything else on what you were looking for? Other than visiting me every single day.
Well, don't say it like that. I mean, I thought we were like getting along now. I really thought we had some sort of rapport.
We do. But don't get your hopes up.
But we had something.
Ouch. Well, then fine. I guess I'll cancel my reservations at the motel opening breakfast.
I thought that was. I thought that your breakfast was part of your stay. Complimentary continental.
Well, I would have complimented you by inviting you.
How about instead we set reservations on my plantation tomorrow morning for breakfast? There were a few things that I wanted to discuss with you that maybe my office might not be so appropriate for.
Jonas's jaw just drops. Like this, he has been waiting for this for a month and a half. He's like, oh yeah. Cool.
I just need you to do a few things in return for me before tomorrow morning.
Sure.
Would you mind keeping an eye on Naomi's whereabouts and who she speaks with? I want to make sure that this situation, the travesty that these murders are, is handled with as much tact as possible. And I'm sure you, as a military man, know as well as I do that sometimes the FBI lacks certain tact.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you could keep an eye on her, maybe see if she might be interested in visiting Lafayette, because we believe that there may be coinciding evidence between the murders of Lafayette and Springfield. And perhaps we can get her out of town for a few days while we ensure that this is handled politely.
That's my hello.
I will have one of our cars come and pick you up from the motel tomorrow morning, and I will see you at the plantation.
Okay, see you there. It's a date, Savoy. It's a date. Okay, I'll see you there.
Have a good day.
Quick off. Like, how old is Savoy?
I'm pretty sure Savoy is like 34, 35.
Okay. Jonas isn't too young. Jonas is 28, so.
Isn't
Okay.
too young.
What was
like
it? 7-year difference.
There is a theory called the ick factor or something, where you take someone's age, cut it in half, and then add, what was it, like 3 or
7.
4? Add 7. And that's the ick factor in a relationship. I'm pretty sure that this isn't like that. That's good, well in the range. So
yeah.
no ick factor here. It's fine. It's not like you're dating like 6-year-old Jonas. It's, we're all adults.
Nobody would want to date 6-year-old Jonas. Let's just be real.
Nope.
That's.
Glad you're aware of that.
I don't even have a response.
6-year-old Jonas was a hellion.
Oh,
So, Savoy gets up and opens the door for Jonas.
Jonas just exits with a little bit more pep in his step. And now he wonders what he's going to do for the rest of the day. Oh, yeah.
And then Savoy is going to take a 10-minute smoke break and very elegantly smoke their cigarettes on Main Street, watching.
Beautiful.
I have a question. Does Savoy have one of those
Sure.
those 50s and 60s like cigarette holders, so it's like 5 times the length of an actual cigarette?
No. Savoy's very gentlemanly in their presence that they exude. So like collared shirt, suit, blazer, trousers, you would expect that they're wearing high heels underneath those trousers because they're ridiculously tall, but they're not. But they just like the little short, really, really terrible cigarettes too, like Lucky 13 or something.
Nice.
That's amazing. All right. So the next thing is Naomi Pierce, before running into Jonas, actually was planning on visiting the library next. Where Tilda, I believe you are. Don't worry, we're gonna get to you, Vanessa. You're the hardest one to fit into this puzzle, darn it.
Yeah, I know. I made it a little harder for you, didn't I?
Damn you, Mira! Damn you! No, I'm kidding.
No, Mira's a little bit of an asshole. It's fine.
No worries. So Naomi goes into the library, and where is Tilda? Exactly. Are you like in the back file room? Would you be up in the front desk? You're kind of helping oversee this project that Savoy has you on, right?
Yeah, I don't think it's actually like necessarily related specifically to the library, so I'm not like working at the library. Though I suppose that could be a decent setting for setting up a document restoration room, like in the back of the library or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, while most of the work is probably going on at the plantation in the swamp, you're probably there at the library half the time ish.
Okay.
If
works.
there is some sort of document restoration or magnifying tools and things like that.
Well, the library would probably have some really great storage or office space that Tilda could set up like an HQ, because the plantation, I'm sure, is not the most ideal place to be directly working on restoring these things, because there's like biohazards and stuff going on. I don't know.
Lots of humidity.
Right.
So yeah, probably in a back office. Probably not in the front of the library.
All right.
I know probably makes things harder. I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries. So the person at the front desk, Naomi starts asking around. It's like, hey, I don't know, is there anyone in charge? I'm actually specifically like interested in reading like any like local news or any history about murders here in the Tickfaw area, or eventually Naomi, the person at the front desk is so tired of dealing with Naomi because they don't know, they just volunteer there. They make like
this isn't even my
$10 an hour. I mean, it is, but they're not like as trained. So finally, the person from the front desk goes to the back room. It's like, Tilda, there is this lady that keeps on asking weird questions, and I don't know how to answer her.
What kind of weird questions?
About murder, kind of weird questions, because of the murders.
Well, fiction.
Maybe that
or
isn't so weird right now. I'm assuming nonfiction, considering what's been going on.
Okay, just tell them it's the left side of the library on aisle 4.
No, they're not looking for like just books on it. They're looking for like current event stuff. Where do we keep that?
The newsstand down the street.
No, like, I don't know. Why don't you just go talk to her?
I hate talking to people. Fine. So
Thanks.
Tilda goes out and like, who was it that had questions about murder? And Tilda says that kind of loud enough that anybody could hear.
So, I mean, I imagine there's a couple people, like, there's a few maybe students in the area. This is like the only library. I don't know if the school has its own library because it's such a small, dinky ass school. So,
Okay.
Jackin Jackin TX84 says, my trash panda.
Your trash pandas has questions about murder?
I guess so. Anyways, so Naomi looks kind of nervous and she says, that was me.
Okay, what's your question?
I'm Agent Pierce. I am the agent that's looking into the Tickfaw murders and are trying to get to know locals and things like that.
Great for you. That's a statement. You said you had a question.
Yes.
All these characters are assholes. Except for
This
Jonas.
is going to be a beautiful friendship, I can tell. And poor Naomi is just here, like, trying to do her best. Like, I am trying to prove myself. I've been put in this back-ass woods town because they didn't want to put me anywhere else, and no one else would do it. I'm given, like, literally the short stick. I'm trying so hard, and everyone here is assholes. Wonderful. Anyways, that's her internal thoughts. That's not what she says.
Tilda's just standing there with her arms crossed, like, I have important work to get back to.
What kind of important work?
I'm in charge of the project to restore the library they found at the... What's Savoy's last name again?
It's
Bilious.
Bilious. Yeah.
At the Bilious plantation, a huge collection of pre-Civil War documents and books, and of course they've been out in the swamp, so they're not in the best of shape. So I'm restoring books, which is very delicate work, and yeah, you're interrupting me. What do you want?
Oh, that's fascinating. I wasn't aware that was something that was happening in such a small town. Anyways, I was just wondering, like, if there was a place where I can look into, like, perhaps old newspaper clippings or things like that, trying to find a history, if there's been a history of murder or cult activity in the past, maybe.
Oh, okay. See, what's her name said that you were interested in current events, which I thought was really weird. Why would you come to a library for current news? If you're looking for older things, she should have just told you to go, it's take a right and then go back, and you're gonna pass 4 shelves and then take another right, and then there's the we've got microfilm and things like that over there, and a couple of computers with some old the old newspapers.
Okay.
Did you say
Thanks.
a cult?
Yes, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility at this point that it was some sort of, like, cult sacrificial thing.
Okay.
Those things still happen even now in 2040, believe it or not.
Yeah, I know. So I actually cultivated the occult library at LSU about New Orleans and its root in occult things.
Oh, fascinating.
It's very fascinating. So if you would like, and Tilla will pull out a card and write a web address on it. You can go here, and there's a lot of books that you can get without having to be a student. If you'd like some books here, then you're going to want to go left and then turn right, and then it's aisle 12. We'll have the books you're looking for.
Aisle 12. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. If I have any questions, like, do I talk to you? Do I talk to someone else?
I'd prefer you talk to someone else.
Right. Okay. Thanks anyways, I guess.
If you want to talk when I'm not working, that would be fine. But it's something you have to put a lot of focus into, and so if you get interrupted, it makes it go twice as long. I mean, my number is on the card if you want to talk outside of my working.
All right. Thank you. Tilda, I'll probably take you up on that. After
Okay.
all, there's very little to go off of here. And if you have already experience with things about like the occult and things like that, I would definitely be very interested in talking to you.
That's great.
So let's pan over for a second to Mira. Mira, so I'd say you, I don't know, what would you be doing? Are you kind of trekking your way to Lafayette? Are you in the surrounding woods near your house? What is going on?
I would say she's probably coming back from Lafayette. So she's just gone and she's coming back now. She's just getting into town.
Okay. Does she take a vehicle or does she tend to walk wherever she goes?
Vehicle.
Okay. So you are getting into town. When on the road, I'd say that perhaps you take a back road or something, you see something strange. Near towards where there is cypress forest and things like that, closer to the river, there is trees that seem to have been snapped and broken and pushed down with a considerable amount of strength, not unlike the cover art I have, which the viewers cannot see at the current, but I will pull up a link real fast. It is extremely bizarre, especially extremely bizarre considering the circumstances that you normally see the world in. However, perhaps not out of the ordinary for you and your personal experiences. Do you want to go investigate?
Yeah, I'll pull over the car and get out and go take a look.
All right, I would like you to roll Investigate a Mystery, which is a, like I explained with Jonas, is roll plus sharp.
Okay, would you prefer that I use the Roll20 sheet or is like a physical dice good?
Either way, it's
Okay.
totally fine.
I have one dice, so I'm gonna have to roll it twice.
That is totally fine. It's better than no dice.
Okay, you said sharp, was it?
Yes.
Okay. Off to a great start. That's a 6.
Oh, that is a failure.
Sure is.
That means I get to make a hard move. You are looking at this and you're not sure what is going on, like what this is, and that's when you are jumped from above.
Love that.
A tiny little creature, I would say about the size of a child, has jumped upon you and is and you take 1 harm. It's growling in a weird language, a language that you might know. It is definitely a fairy tongue.
Okay. Yeah. So, is it possible for me to get this tiny creature off of me?
Sure. I would actually say that would probably be kick some ass, maybe.
Okay, so I actually have unholy strength, which means I roll my weird instead of my tough.
Go for it.
That is a 14.
Wow!
I am bunting
How
this tiny creature
literal fuck.
halfway to Lafayette.
All right, so you inflict harm. So you're just using your fists or anything. Do you have any information about like how much damage you normally cause or anything like that?
The only natural attacks that I have when I'm not using weapons are teeth, and I'm not using my teeth, so that's fine. So it would just be
So probably
Just
only
right,
like one harm. Yeah.
Yeah,
But regardless, I would say like when you kick some ass, you gain the advantage, shake one forward, or give +1 to another hunter. You inflict terrible harm, which is an additional +1 harm. You suffer less harm, which is -1 harm. So, because you essentially will trade blows. Or you force them where you want them. I would say that this is probably a force them where you want them. Would you say that that's accurate?
yeah, because I'm just trying to get it off of me.
Okay, so you punt this small creature, and it goes
Great.
"Whee!" and hits the tree. And
Oh no!
All the way home.
oh no! So, you are able to get a good look at it, and you would know that it's a goblin. It looks like a child, a very skinny, small child, but has big, gigantic eyes, and you're able to get a good glance at its eyes because its hair kind of flies everywhere as it hits the tree. Its hair normally goes in front of its face. It's got sharp teeth and claws. But yes, this is definitely a goblin-like creature. It pauses and kind of takes a moment to regain itself, and then it tilts its head at you. It's like, wait, you're one of us.
Mira kind of like dusts herself off and like examines where it managed to get her, and she like sneers at it a little bit, but she doesn't respond.
One of the fairy. You're one of us. I'm sorry, I thought you were a human.
So are you just going to go around attacking every human you see?
Essentially, yes.
Well, some of us are trying to live here quietly, you know.
Why would you do that? You know what's happening, don't you?
What are you referring to now?
The future, of course. You come from a place like my place, yes?
Yes.
The world with so you know that fighting is inevitable.
Yes, but I'm trying to live here quietly in the meantime.
Well, that's not an option. We are here now, and we are going to fight, and we're going to scare the humans. You can either help us or you're your enemy too.
Well, seeing as I'm not ready to give up who I am, or rather what I am right now, I'm going to say you can skedaddle along and leave me be.
Oh, I will not forget this. It kind of bares its little teeth and disappears into the underbrush.
Goblin will remember this.
Goblin, remember this.
Goblin, don't forget.
That just flashes in the sky in front of Mira. She's just standing there like,
It's
oh,
about-
shit.
So it's about that moment that someone else comes in through the up the road, and he's like, hey, wait, you're that woman, Mira, isn't it?
She tries to like straighten herself up, make it look like nothing's wrong, and she turns towards the voice.
So it is a normal guy wearing a brown jacket, and it's like, I'm Kyle. I own the Airbnbs in the area. In fact, I once owned the property that you live in now. Name's Kyle. Are you okay? It looked like you were being like, what? Attacked by a child?
Mira tries to play it off. So she puts a little bit of a smile on her face. But it's not quite friendly. It's not, like really abrasive or anything, but it's not quite naturally friendly. And she kind of waves her hand a little bit and she says, "Oh no, I'm fine. You must have been seeing things. No, it's great. It's fine."
You sure you're all right? That did look.
Yes.
It looks like you got a scratch there.
Oh, it's my own stupidity. It's fine. Truly.
I was in the area and I saw that the trees were knocked down. There's another place in the woods, kind of like that. I was cleaning one of my properties and I was trying to follow the trail back here. I don't know. Were you just driving past or did you see something?
Yes, I was just coming back into town actually, and I did see the same thing. So I stopped to just check it out for a moment.
Right. Well, sorry to bother you. I guess one of us should probably report the damage in or something. That's one hell of a bear.
She kind of laughs a little bit, and she kind of raises her hand. She's like, "Well, I'm on my way back into town anyway, and I have a car, so I can swing past and report this."
All right. Anything else you need, like a Band-Aid?
No, I think I'll be quite all right. Thank you, though.
Yeah, no problem. And if you need anything else, like problems with your property or anything, let me know, okay?
Will do.
Thanks. And with that, Kyle leaves you to your own devices.
As soon as he leaves, she just the look on her face is just pure snarl. She's not impressed. So she gets back in her car.
Not impressed with the goblin or Kyle?
With the goblin. Yeah, she's over it. But she does get back in her car, and she doesn't want to go back into town and talk to people that she shouldn't have to talk to, but she's going to do it anyway.
So, yeah, So you head into town. There is the police station, and then there's Savoy, which, I mean, you're familiar enough with Savoy and how the town works at this point, Mira. You know that Savoy kind of wants everything reported through her. If there's anything out of the ordinary, which is a little unusual. It's a little bit of a mob mentality almost, but so you kind of have those two options.
Mob, though. Let's be clear.
But it is
Semantics. And Savoy is still conveniently smoking outside.
fabulous.
I would say that, yes, Mira would go through Savoy just because it truly doesn't matter to her who she reports it to, just as long as she can report it and leave. So
cool. And so Savoy's like the closest human of authority nearby, right? Yeah.
Without having to stop at the police station and go through a report and all that stuff. She doesn't care.
All right. Mira and Savoy, have you guys interacted much in the past at all?
I would say maybe not in great detail.
More like a respectable distance of if they cross paths in the town, Savoy just offers a nod, like, I see you. You may continue what you're doing.
Here's an acknowledgement of your existence. Let us carry on.
Exactly. I don't think Mira causes any manner of distress or concern to their teeny tiny little town.
Of course not, because Mira is just a star example of what it means to be a good citizen.
Exactly. And Savoy would be very respectful of that and in return give you the privacy.
what could be a better citizen than keeping to yourself and not even being there most of the time? You know what I mean?
And somebody who doesn't walk in on Savoy's office every single day, Jonas.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah,
so that's what I meant.
Hey, they're the one who didn't want me to just go and do what I was going to do, so.
There's protocol.
It's true.
All right. So, go ahead. Just approach Savoy and do your thing.
Yeah, so Mira kind of pulls her car in and gets out and catches sight, I would say, of Savoy smoking over there and promptly makes her way towards them.
Savoy would see your car pull in and offer a somewhat surprised expression as they beelined, Mira beelines back towards Savoy. Savoy puts their cigarette out and folds their arms and says, "What do I owe the pleasure?"
Mira gives them a tight-lipped smile and just kind of says, "Don't mean to intrude on you, but you know, I just have a little something to report to you, actually."
Is this something that I should take in my office or something that you can tell me here? And there's a look in their eyes that says that, like, it's very, like, is this pertinent or is this private?
Mira sighs a little bit and she says, "Well, I guess if you'd like to go inside, we could go inside."
And Savoy opens the door for her.
And she goes on in.
And Savoy sits down and very patiently waits.
Mira does not sit anywhere. She kind of just, you can tell that she's uninterested. But she says, you know, she gives Savoy the rundown of what happened. Like, you know, I was coming back into town, and then I noticed that there were some trees that looked like they had been pushed over and stomped down. So I don't know if there's anything in particular that we should be worried about, but that's a thing that I saw.
Have you told anybody else?
I did meet a gentleman up there, Kyle, who did notice the same thing that I did and stopped to chat for a moment. But other than that, no.
Excellent.
So,
thank you.
Savoy, you would know Kyle.
Yeah.
I'd say he's like probably the second most pertinent person kind of in town, mostly because he runs all the Airbnbs and things like that. Owns a lot of property. He doesn't have like the old money necessarily that your family does. Rather, he's big into like real estate and renewing old houses and things like that. So if anyone's been hit hard by the just all the weird stuff that's happened with the murders, it has been Kyle.
Right. I also have a quick question. Would Savoy be able to detect anything like a familiar smell or something on Mira?
Good question. There's actually a couple of things you could do. You could do a player move, a character move to try to like investigate mystery maybe, or get information, manipulate someone maybe to get that information. Or if you have a special move in your playbook, so to speak, like for instance, Inhuman Scent or things like that, you could go that route.
No, I don't have Inhuman Scent. I could roll Sharp
To investigate mystery?
detection. Yeah.
Sure.
So
Go forth then. Nope, clueless. So
On the bright
all
side,
right.
Mark experience.
Hard move. Mira.
Mhm.
you're the one who realizes something's really fucky with Savoy.
Surprise.
So as Savoy's kind of giving you this kind of like beady-eyed look, you get this weird sensation like of magic off of her. Sensation that you're probably familiar with.
Mhm.
You get the feeling like she is not fully what she says she is, and is very similar to you in that respect.
Mhm.
Savoy, I would say perhaps you recognize that Mira seems to know something.
So Savoy kind of they're not really a fidgeter. They kind of just like straighten their jacket out and says something along the lines of, I really appreciate you letting me know of your experience, and I will see to canvassing what we can so that that never happens again and you're not disturbed. Now, if you have any further information, anything weird that might be going on in the woods, I would also appreciate that.
Mira's kind of demeanor shifts just the slightest after kind of getting this vibe off of Savoy. And there's just the slightest little twinkle to her eyes, like she's intrigued now. But she offers a smile and she says, "Oh, absolutely. You know, if I come across anything else, I will be sure to let you know."
And Savoy, like, their lips twitch, and that's the only other expression before they break into a very polite smile. And they say, "Thank you. I really appreciate it. Have a good day."
And Mira nods and says,
This group's
"You
going to
too."
be really fucking weird.
That is very true.
Not wrong.
Please. Oh, wow. So Jonas, what are you
Yeah.
really doing with the rest of your day?
So, by the time Jonas got out of Savoy's office, would Jonas have been able to see where the FBI agent went or figure that out?
Yes. You probably figure out that she's probably in the library or somewhere else where she can get information easily.
Okay. So Jonas is going to head over to the library to try and run into her
As
again.
you are doing that, let's take a quick 5-minute break to pee, get water, things like that, and then we will continue with what Jonas is up to. We will be right back, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, feel free to grab a drink, stretch your legs, anything like that. We're going to hop over to our Be Right Back screen, and then, yeah, about between 5 and 10 minutes we'll be back. we're
back?
We are
Cool.
back now.
Hello, welcome back. So where we left off, we were just Jonas. You were about to do something. Jonas, you actually have another option as you are approaching the library. To kind of find Naomi, track her down. You see Mira's car pull up and Mira walk out. You have not really seen her before. But you do take note probably of her vibrant red hair.
Jonas is going to focus on the task that he was given. I know, Jonas has changed a lot over the years.
You're cutting out again.
Okay.
I understand.
He's going to go to the library.
All right. So you go to the library. Naomi would have just finished her conversation with Tilda. So you do see her kind of walking out, walking down to the back of the library, like going around some shelves, while Tilda is still kind of right there.
Okay.
Would Tilda know Jonas at all? Has Jonas been in and out of the library researching things?
I think so, yeah.
So Tilda would probably look up and be like, "Hi, Jonas."
Dr. Jenkins! Hi! How are you doing today?
Jonas is
I'm
happy.
doing all right. I just got interrupted with what I was doing, so a little frustrating, but I'm fine. How are you?
Good. You know, today's a good day. I'm actually making progress with my project. Hey, have you, like, do you know where that agent went?
Agent. Not sure who you mean.
Girl, looks like she's kind of lost.
That's like half the women in this town.
Fair. Okay, well, I'm just gonna browse. I'll see you later, Tilda.
All right. I mean, wait, you said agent. You mean like secret agent or FBI agent or?
FBI, I think.
There was this Naomi lady that was just here. I'm surprised you didn't see her when you came in.
Thank you, Doc. I'll sharpen my eyes and my peepers.
Okay. That's great.
Okay, well, lovely as usual. See you later.
Okay.
I actually kind of love Jonas now.
And you didn't before?
I mean,
Jonas.
kind of wanted to bunt him across the ocean a couple times, but other than that, I mean, he was okay.
Yeah, Jonas was a handful. It was like babysitting.
Truly. Yeah, I was honestly surprised when somebody jumped for 6 years old. I'm like, that was like the minimum.
I know. I was like, good
What
luck,
have I
everybody.
done? Oh boy. Anyways, talking about the other game aside, so do you just go wandering or do you go? Tilda didn't really give you any details about where Naomi went, right?
Yeah, but you said that Jonas might have seen her or not?
Yeah, you saw somebody walking kind of past the shelves,
Okay,
like
Jonas is
rounding the
gonna
corner.
go over there and try to casually bump into Naomi again.
I wonder if there's like, I think I will have you roll manipulate someone. Because let's see.
What one is that?
Manipulating someone Let me double check here. It's you roll plus charm. If you used to get people to do what you want, but you need to give them a reason to do it first. What counts as a reason will depend on your relationship with the person. If you've given them a reason to trust you, offer them a reward to do it, maybe you have real or faked authority. So basically, if I'm gathering this right, you are trying to manipulate Naomi into what? Going and checking somewhere else? Or
Yeah, to kind of like ask me questions so that I can point her towards Lafayette. That's where I'm trying to point her to, right?
so you are trying to get her to leave town and check out Lafayette.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and roll plus charm. We'll see what I mean that will kind of
9.
feed that into this conversation, I think. 9. So a mixed success. On a 7 and 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now. Show that you mean it. So you casually kind of try to like bump into her. She's actually heading for like the microfilm and things like that, starting to look at things. So how do you go approach this?
I have a quick question before you jump in on that. I just
Sure.
realized I've got often right. So when someone asks me for my advice and I give them an opinion or advice on it, they get +1 ongoing while following it, and I get to mark experience. Would
You didn't really
that
give
interaction
Jonas
count?
advice. No,
Okay.
no. You didn't
Just
really
wanted to
give
check.
advice. You're just like, oh, she's over there. I'm surprised you didn't see her. That's really it. There was no advice given.
Okay, just wanted to check.
Cool. All right. So go and do your thing, Jonas.
So Jonas is going to go and stand somewhere where she would be able to see him and hope that she initiates conversation first.
She So she's pretty focused and doesn't say anything or doesn't really note you there as far as you're concerned, like it's another patron of the library or whatever. So she isn't gonna just bother random patrons at this point. She's got a job to do.
Okay.
But if you go and say hey, then
Okay. Jonas is going to like pull a random book out and kind of be pretending to read it and like inch closer and closer. And when she still does not notice him, he's going to like drop the book and be like, "Oops," and like bend
Excellent.
over and pick it up.
Fabulous.
Can Tilda see that from the front counter?
I'd say that's up to you, depending upon like how you want the layout to be of the library and things like that.
Jonas
You
over
help
here
determine
doing the legally blonde bend and snap.
Basically.
I think Tilda's somewhere where she can probably see that and it would definitely comment and go, you need to not drop the books. They're books, but they're still fragile, and if you don't want any damage.
Oh yeah, sorry about that, Doc.
Okay.
Okay. Fabulous. So yeah, no, Naomi does look up. It's like she's like, are you okay? Do you need here, I can grab that for you. She
no.
bends over and grabs it.
Oh,
And snaps.
And
and snaps. Oh hey, Agent. What's Naomi's last name?
Pierce.
Agent Pierce, right? Hey, I think we ran into each other earlier today. Crazy.
Yes, you're the one of the 3 people I've managed to speak to so far in town. 4 if you
Yeah.
count the unhelpful front desk lady. Anyways, yeah, is there anything you need?
You know, I wasn't very helpful earlier.
You're cutting out again. Just see her rage quit every time.
Is this better?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't very helpful before, so I kind of wanted to apologize for that. And I mean, I'll answer your questions if you have any.
I mean, you were fairly straightforward, I thought. You said that you weren't here long, and you, I know, we're kind of looking into things for the thrill of it or something like that. Correct?
Yeah, I guess I did tell you that. But like, okay, and maybe this is just like the weird conspiracy theorist in me or whatever, but I don't know. I think it might be worth investigating Lafayette because I was reading up about it and there's similar things happening there.
There were already other agents looking into the Lafayette murders lately. Mira, watch out.
Mira's not doing anything. What do you mean?
Oh, dang, like, well, why aren't you over there with them? Why are you here alone?
Basically, they want, I got the short end of the stick. This is considered kind of a dead case. And no one wanted to be in Springfield, while Lafayette is a bigger town and that's active and an active case.
A dead
so
case?
I'm kind of stuck here. Yeah.
Get it?
Shut up. I'm going to punch you into the moon, friend.
Oh,
anyway, continue.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there. Like, I've been an officer in the military, and like, I kind of got in through like different avenues. So like, I kind of got sent out to the crap stuff too sometimes. Not that we were investigating anything, but like, I don't know. But I think that you're better than me. I mean, you should stick your neck out and like go over there and be like, hey, pay attention to me. I'm like Agent Pierce and I'm super awesome at what I do and I can help you guys and this is connected possibly. And maybe get seen by the big guys so you can get a promotion or something. I don't know.
I mean, if you are truly from the military, then you kind of know that's not quite how it works.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm young and a girl. You'd think here in 2040 that wouldn't be a problem anymore, but apparently it is. I'll tell you what. Do you have any evidence that the stuff at Lafayette is directly related?
Does Jonas have any evidence?
You can either make shit up or...
Oh, yeah. I got a ton of evidence. Like, oh my gosh. You gotta stop by my motel room. Like, you should...
Oh my god.
You know what? I've got
how does she react to that?
information on murders. Like, you should just come check out the murders that I know about at my hotel room.
Come with me to my motel room.
And I'll
She's
tell
like-
you about murders, like...
Oh my gosh, this is how much evidence Jamie Langridge says.
Oh my god.
Oh man. So much evidence. So Naomi's kind of giving you this kind of incredulous look, like, sir,
Sorry?
are you trying to pick up? Is that a pickup line? I'm not here to do funny business. Whoa.
Whoa.
What do you think I am?
Whoa. No. That's not what I intended at all. I mean, if I was doing a pickup line, like, you would know I was doing a pickup line because I mean,
This sounded like a pickup line to me.
well, if it was a pickup line, never mind. I'm gonna stop there. You're an agent. You're an FBI agent. I could get arrested. Never mind.
And so you're stopping because you're concerned that you're going to be arrested?
No. Okay. Let me start over. In my motel room, I have.
I think Tilda, like, after Jonas dropped the book, is like keeping an eye on Jonas at this point. And just like sort of in the corner, just like, it's like watching a train wreck.
In my motel room, I have some wood, and it matches this other wood, and
I don't want to hear about your wood, sir.
no, from a tree. It's similar, and like, I don't know, like, I mean, maybe there was like similar markings, and one was from here, and one was from Lafayette, and I just thought,
So you want to show me a tree in your motel room?
no,
How long
that's
have
just
you been
perverted.
left?
And you said I was saying a pickup line. Like, that's just weird.
Tilda's gonna walk up.
Sir, how long have you been here again? Can you have anyone vouch for you that you weren't here during the time of the beginning of the murders?
Yeah, hey. Jonas is gonna break one of Tilda's rules, and he's gonna yell very loudly, "Hey, Doc!"
I'm literally 3 feet from you. Why are you yelling?
Oh, yeah, sorry, wow, you...
Oh boy.
I did not realize I had wrapped all the way back around over here. Like,
Well, I mean, you dropped the book, so I came to make sure everything was okay, and then I was watching this train wreck unfolding before me, and so it was interesting.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so interesting.
So, I mean, Agent Pierce was wondering if you could vouch for me that I was not here at the time of the murders.
Out of character, when were the murders?
They were in the spring, so it's been about 4 or 5 months.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen Jonas here, around that time. Much later is when I saw him. So, probably not involved with the whole murder thing.
I see. I guess I will stop by this motel and ask the front desk, perhaps, that have you been staying in the same motel room all this time, sir?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll have to check with them to make sure that your story checks out.
Lafayette has a
You
really
are the
good
most
library.
suspicious person I have run into. What? What does Lafayette have to do with anything?
Oh, you were talking about Lafayette, and I just thought I'd try to offer some helpful information. They have a really good library, so if you're looking for like their newspaper records department is just like way bigger. Not
There
as
are
big as
agents.
LSU where I worked before, but it's really big.
There are already agents in Lafayette. I'm looking at files here.
It's pronounced Lafayette. If you say
I'm
it
from
like that,
out of town.
it's gonna be a dead giveaway that you're out of town and people aren't gonna help you.
Why wouldn't they help me? I'm a federal agent.
Because it's a small town and you're from out of town.
And as you said before, you're a young girl.
And that doesn't help either of us. I mean, both being women.
Oh my god.
Did we break Rowan?
This agent is going to quit.
Naomi.
I'm just
She's
saying.
given up
To
her
get the
job.
agent to leave. So, I mean, if the
I'm
agent
just
quits,
saying-
I've done my job.
It's Louisiana, and so in a small town. So if you're not from, quote unquote, not from around here, then people aren't likely to help you. So I'm just saying, just
So-
pronounce it right, and it'll be helpful.
Is
Okay.
Lafayette.
Lafayette?
Yeah,
All right.
pronounce it that
So
way.
within the hour that I've been here, you, sir, points at Jonas, are clearly my top suspect so far. And you, points at Tilda Jenkins, maybe an accessory to murder. I'm not positive, but this is the kind of thing I'm picking up on right now. So how about you
Yeah.
No
guys
wonder they
stop
sent you
trying
here
to
on this
convince
cold
me?
case.
Tilda looks at Joseph.
Oh my God.
That's kind of the vibe I was getting too. If she makes wild accusations like this, it's no wonder they sent her here.
Can't even say Lafayette.
Yeah.
You know what?
Excuse me, Agent Naomi. I'm going to need your badge number and the number for your superior, since you are I can only assume informally at this point accusing me of something, but I'm gonna need to talk to your superior.
What? Why?
You can't just go into libraries making murder accusations when you have absolutely no proof or evidence. I
All
read
right.
about that in the criminal law books that we have here. So,
Honestly, it's such a small town. Why in the world would you have criminal law? You know what?
it's a library. We
I'm
have
going to
books
go.
here.
I'm going to go check in at the motel now.
I'm gonna need your badge number and the phone number for your main office.
Well, the good news is that Mira
Tilda
can't
pulls
get
out a
any worse
notepad.
than this.
I'm
I
still
have-
waiting.
No reason to give that to you.
You're required by law to
fine.
give that to me if you're if we're having an encounter with each other and then you accuse me. I can request that at any time.
There was no official accusation. I'm just saying that you are being extremely shady at this point. Saying that
I'm a
this town will-
librarian
I quote.
offering helpful information, and then you just said I'm you're a suspect for murder accessory because we're talking about books.
Yeah, don't you need a warrant for that since we're like in her library?
Again, I'm not searching anyone.
But I mean, you were looking at her books.
Well,
It's
I mean,
a
it is
library.
it's a library. That's
Public
that's
library.
pretty normal.
So
You're
change
right,
of
you're right.
plans. This is the only session we're going to be doing.
Because you're dead? Is that what?
Yeah, no, Naomi's just going to leave. Everybody's going to stop doing any sort of investigative work. Everybody's just done.
Tilda's still standing there with the notepad looking at Naomi expectantly.
Fine. You know what? Fine. Here, look. Here's my card.
Okay.
You have the information. Have fun talking to the superior.
Okay.
You crazy woman, you. I'm gonna go check
I
in at the
don't
motel.
appreciate that sort of language about other people. Mental illnesses are a serious thing. You shouldn't go around calling people crazy. It's 2040. I'm really starting to understand why you're here.
Oh my god.
Tilda!
Jonas has this sparkle in his eye as he realized this amazing situation he has happened to, like, start the snowball. Like, it's just Dr. Tilda Jenkins is just taking
Let it
this.
snow. Let it snow.
Tilda takes
This
no shit from
bullshit is
anyone.
Number one.
Also, Tilda creates shit.
That is true.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm done. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm leaving.
I love this. Tilda takes notes, not prisoners.
Oh my god.
Well done, Jamie language.
Love it. Okay, I'm gonna go make a phone call.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So she literally walks out, doesn't even do her research like she wants to, and goes to check in the motel, and also to check to make sure that Jonas, has been here for the month and a half, like he said, not. Anyways, well, Jonas, you managed to chase her out of the library, but she's not out of town. She hasn't left to Lafayette. But that's probably the best that you're going to get right now, unless you can produce actual evidence as to why she should go check Lafayette.
From your
And
hotel
that the two are
room.
related.
Yes.
That she will not go into. My God.
Well, what do you expect when you tell somebody that you want to show them the wood you have?
Excellent.
So, good job, guys. So Mira, is there anything else that you do in town aside from talk to Savoy?
At this point, I mean, she'd probably stop for some supplies to bring home with her, maybe. But other than that, not really.
All right. So what time of day do you all think it is? Like, with all this going on, would you say it's like almost evening, or
It's like an early afternoon is what I imagined.
okay?
Oh, Savoy would have totally like put a curfew on the town.
Oh my god.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
If that's permittable. Yeah.
That's totally fine. Yeah. So there's like a curfew. People should be home around what time? Like 8 o'clock?
Time, yeah. Like nobody outside after 8 o'clock gives enough time for people to pick up what they need for dinner and get out. And they would have talked to like the late night like the bar owners or anything like that, and negotiated something that would basically compensate their lack of business because of the curfew, just to ensure that everybody was kosher and happy.
So, all right, that sounds cool to me. So yeah, it's getting to be like later afternoon, probably around 4 o'clock, as everything's wrapping up here. What time, Savoy? Well, Mira. So you get supplies and you head back. Savoy, what time do you leave the office?
Probably like 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay. All right. So Mira, it is as you are driving home, after your interesting encounter with Savoy, that you see something else. Straight in front of you in the road, you see a little girl. She has long brown hair in her face, and I don't know how much you have looked into the stuff that has been going on with the murders, but you recall that the family, or at least the girl that was found in the water, she had brown hair, and that the mother and the father had brown hair. And this girl, who is tattered and torn and dirty, standing there in the middle of the road as you approach with the car, is wearing brown hair and tattered camping clothes. What do you do? Like, do you try to swerve out of the way, or?
She's in the middle of the road, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Mira probably tries to swerve over to the side and
Okay.
and stop there.
All right. I might have you make a move to make sure, like, you don't. Let's do act under pressure.
Okay, what am I rolling for that?
For act under pressure, let me see here.
Excuse me.
Act under pressure, you are rolling plus cool. So on a +10, you do what you set out to do. On a 7, 7 to 9, give you a worse outcome, hard choice, or price to pay. On a
It was
miss,
an 8.
things go to hell.
An
8. So a worse outcome. So you try swerving out of the way and stopping, but you, when you swerve out of the way, you are not you hit a tree on the side of the road, and luckily you're mostly fine. You take 1 point of harm, but your car is totaled.
Mira gets out of her car, and she is starting to get peeved. And you can tell she's starting to get peeved because she is saying some words that are not in English, but they sure do sound guttural.
The girl is still there in the road.
Mira sighs and she goes to check out the girl to see if she's okay.
So as you approach her, she crouches on all fours. Almost like a beast would. And she growls at you like a dog.
Mira like closes her eyes because she's like, do I really want to deal with this shit? Really? Other than that, she doesn't back up. She doesn't move away or anything. She just kind of tests the situation, see what happens.
All right. Let's do manipulate someone. I think you're trying to get this girl calm, maybe, or try to figure out what's going on. You can either do that or investigate mystery.
What stats are those to roll?
Oh. So manipulate someone is plus charm. To investigate a mystery is plus sharp.
I will manipulate. Ooh. That's a 7.
Ooh. Okay, that's good enough. Which one was this? Was investigate mystery or manipulate someone?
Manipulate.
Okay. So, for that, they'll do what you want, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. So she looks either like she is going to run or she is going to attack. You're not positive which. She seems to be on the fence. So you need to kind of offer her something or show something to show that you're not going to hurt her or that the situation's okay to calm her down.
What did you say? You said she's wearing like tattered clothing, right?
Yes, she's wearing tattered clothing. They're dirty. They're filthy. Her hair's long and in her face. She's got like scratch marks over her body from branches and mud caked in her hair and things like that.
Right. Mira takes a moment, just like a really quick moment to think about it, and she kind of tilts her head as she looks the girl up and down. And it's almost like a process of like, what would a human woman do? She slowly takes off her cardigan and like crouches a little more to the girl's level and offers it out almost like she's going to like put it over her shoulders if she'll let her, kind of like as a gesture, kind of like, you know, to cover up her tattered clothes.
So you step forward, she steps back, and you hear her stomach growl.
I probably have some snacks that I picked up at the store when I stopped by. So Mira kind of backs away slowly, reaches across to the other side of her car where she has her bags in the passenger side, and maybe pulls out like a granola bar or something, and turns around and holds it up.
The girl looks at it longingly and then looks at you and then looks at it and then looks at you again.
Mira like unwraps the bar and holds it out to her.
The girl, I might as well say it. The girl approaches hesitantly and waiting to see if you do anything.
Nope, just hold the bar out, very, very still.
She grabs it and stuffs it in her mouth.
Mira like snorts. It's just like humans.
So you snort and she giggles. She said she's like, "You've snorted."
Mira kind of just shakes her head a little bit and reaches back into the car to grab another granola bar for her.
The girl takes it happily and just devours it. And she says, "You're not human, so I can trust you."
Mira tilts her head a little bit more. She's intrigued now.
That's what the goblins say. That's what the goblins say, that humans are bad, can't be trusted. But you're not human, so maybe I can trust you.
Mira crouches down in front of her again, and kind of pushes her hair back from her face. And she just says, "My name is Mira. What's your name?"
I'm Lily.
Well, very nice to meet you, Lily. Would you like to tell me what happened to you?
I lived in a beautiful kingdom for months with a beautiful king, and the goblins were my friends, but they've been all scattered. I think they killed mommy and daddy, but that's okay. They're my real family now. But I lost them.
Mira holds
where
out
they went.
her hand. Mira holds out her hand to her, like to take her hand.
Lily tilts her head at your hand. And then looks up at you. Are we gonna go somewhere?
Mira stands up with her hand still outstretched, and she just says, "Well, I would like to go home, and I think maybe we can get you cleaned up, and you can tell me a little bit more about this kingdom and the goblins who were your friends. But we can go back to my house first. Does that sound okay?"
You won't try to take me to humans, will you?
Of course not, no. I live in a little house that's surrounded by trees, so no humans will come snooping around, and you can relax, and you can tell me all about what happened.
Okay, but only until we can find my goblin friends again.
Mira nods, and
Or
she says,
maybe,
"Okay."
maybe you could help me find the prince again.
Mira says,
Okay.
"Yeah,
Okay,
sure,
then I'll go with you.
Okay, excellent. So Mira actually,
But you better not be tricking me, B. You better not be tricking me.
she offers her a smile, and she says, "No, dear, I'm not tricking you."
Okay. And Lily takes your hand.
So before
And-
Mira actually takes her home, she gathers her things from the car, and notably opens the trunk and takes out a bag of supplies with some questionable liquids in there. That's what she's gonna take those with her as they walk back to the house.
Is that blood?
Mira kind of looks at her and winks, but she doesn't say anything.
I knew it. But she doesn't seem to be fazed by this at all. And with that, that's where we're going to end tonight, I think, friends.
Woo!
Yay!
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
That was a
That was
lot
fun.
of fun.
With Savoy next time.
Yes.
Well, with that being the end of our session here, I suppose we can go ahead and do our outros. We'll do our opposite order, and then we'll go on a raid. So let's start with you, Rowan. What was your favorite part, and where can we find you next?
Oh man, my favorite part has to be you and Jonas just ganging up on poor Naomi. Like, here's this agent who clearly gets like the bottom of the barrel every single time, and y'all are giving her hell.
Well, she just has to follow proper procedure, and then that wouldn't happen.
Or something. Jeez, so rude. But yeah, that I think was definitely my favorite part. And just overall getting to know your characters and trying to figure out, all right, this is how we're gonna work things out. So you can find me next. I think we're going to be doing our first R&R on this channel tomorrow, right, Raven?
Yeah, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. I'm thinking of like a couple of options there. The new Monster Hunter Iceborne is released on Steam, so maybe we'll do that.
Ooh, be fun.
Or I also bought Okami, the remastered version, and I wouldn't mind sharing it with you, my favorite game of all time. I don't know, there's some options. Aside from that, I will be on the channel Saturday to play Badlands as Vinny Vincent Gonzalez.
Perfect. And then I'll pass it on to Vanessa. What was your favorite part? And then yeah, feel free to talk about any projects or anything you've got going on and throw some links in chat.
Oh my god, I had so much fun throughout the entirety of it. I don't know if I have one specific favorite part. Although I am very impressed with Jonas, seeing how far he's come since the last round that we had. Very mature now that he's not 6. So that was definitely fun. Seeing him and Tilda was definitely a really cool pair. So I look forward to seeing more of them. And of course, I do look forward to seeing how Mira and Savoy are going to get along in the future. So that's going to be pretty interesting, I think.
Definitely.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't really have any projects per se going on. You guys can kind of just check out my art stuff. I'll be sure to post the links to my Facebook shop and my art Twitter. And yeah, that's
Awesome.
pretty much it for me.
Awesome. All right,
Beautiful.
and yes, and what was your favorite part, and where can we find you next?
My favorite part was definitely Jonas and Tilda ganging up on Naomi because I literally laughed my ass off. I also really enjoy the characters that everybody else has created and the interactions that they're having with each other. I think that that's really fun. And then most of my big projects that I'm working on aren't public yet. But hopefully in the next month or two, I'll have links to a comic book that I've been hired to illustrate, which I'm stoked for.
Exciting.
So we'll see down there. Yeah.
Very cool.
But that'll come eventually. TBA.
All right. Yeah, Riley, what was your favorite part, and where can we find you next?
My favorite part was kind of the moment where I realized that Jonas was like the only happy, like go lucky, like non-withholding person in the group.
I
Just
saw the look
realizing
in
that,
your
like-
eyes change. I think I know, like that moment where your face just lit up and you got all into it again.
That's great.
But yeah, it was fun. I liked just interacting with all the characters and meeting all of them, and just I don't know, it's gonna be good. Like everybody has like the most amazing characters, and I'm excited to see how the group works together. And yeah, it's really fun. It was like a really fun. I've never done this before, so like the world building and stuff has been like really fun this session.
Yeah, same. Monster of the
Beautiful.
Week is
Thank you.
really good system for what we're doing here. I like it a lot. And where can we find you next, Riley?
You can find me on this channel on Saturday. I will also be in Badlands and as Dabian. So.
Perfect. Gwen just said Tilda is fire and Jonas is gasoline.
Right.
That's great. Well, again, thank you everybody for playing. Thank you everybody for watching. My favorite part is probably the exact moment where Jonas goes, "Yeah, just come with me back to my motel. I've got this wood," and I was just like, "Oh God."
Unintentional entendres.
Yeah, I think that was probably my favorite moment, and yeah, I feel a little bit bad for hassling Naomi, but it's like Tilda's again takes no crap from anyone. Doesn't matter who it is, so that was totally her character for that.
Well, on the upside for Naomi, I don't think it can get any worse for her when she meets Mira. So
That's true.
I think she's probably hit the rough part. No, that is true.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So as for where you can find me next and everything like that, you can find me on Twitter. Just about all of us actually on Twitter with the tags that are underneath of our little windows here. And then I will be, as we mentioned, back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, for R&R, which is Rowan and I just playing video games and goofing off and telling stories and stuff. It's a lot of fun and pretty chill. And then Friday, same time, we've got our next episode of The Peasant Strike Back. We're doing like a season 1.5 between now and our next full season. So we'll be doing one game of that each month. So I'm really excited about that. It was something we did last season as a full campaign. So we're getting the whole band back together and doing that. It's a hoot. And then, as was mentioned, Saturday, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll have our next episode of Legends of the Badlands, which is a time-traveling sci-fi, all kinds of stuff going on in that game. It's our third season of the game. So that'll be really fun. But for now, we're going to go on a quick raid. Other quick thank yous. Thank you, Gwen, for the $4 donation. Thank you, everybody who spent guild coins. That was fantastic. And thank you all for watching and playing. So we're going to go raid Scraticus. If you're not already following Scraticus, highly recommend it. Oh, that's right. Also, I just took a look there. Buggy is playing there. He's in our Peasant Strike Back. He's done a bunch of one shots here as well. Fantastic person. So definitely go check that out and give Scrat a follow if you're not already following him. But yeah, with that, we will see you tomorrow. Bye.